Welcome to another episode of ESCXTRA where we discuss the national finals. And today it is time for the return of the Irish national final on the Late Late Show on the 4th of February. We'll have the Eurosong 2022 special with 6 entries competing, and it's time to discuss them today. On the 4th of February, Ireland will be picking their entry. It is the return of their national final after a couple of internal selections. We'll be going through all the songs today with Lisa, Sami, Bente, and myself. 6 entries, and let's kick off with the name we all know. Brendan Murray is back after competing at Eurovision a couple of years ago. He's now back with Real Love. He's had an X Factor adventure in between. Is Real Love his ticket to the grand final of Eurovision, Lisa?
Short answer, no. Long answer, you know, I'm not surprised to see him back. It's been a while. He's a bit older now. He's had more TV and live performing experience. I still have trauma flashbacks to that giant balloon, but yeah, I mean, I feel like his music hasn't sort of progressed on much further, really. Like, this is still kind of like a part 2 to his last song, and it's just I just struggle with the sound of his vocal. Like, I know he's a good singer. It's just not for me. That's that style of vocal. But the song seems competent, and he's had a hand in it himself, which you kind of always need that. Songs that are kind of true to the artist and their musical style and what they're happy with. I'm sure it'll be in the mix, and it'll be talked up a lot by whoever's on the panel. I mean, I know, Linda Martin, after 3 shandies, she'll be so excited for Brendan.
Right. Will Linda Martin's excitement help Brendan Murray win Eurosong, Sami?
I'm not sure about that. I think that the only thing that maybe might drag in the voters is that he actually did Eurovision and also did the X Factor UK. And I think he's getting a lot of hate because he didn't mention Eurovision once during that show. But anyway, about the song, yeah, it's okay. It's a song. There's 40 songs Eurovision, short, just throw this in and it's fine. It's actually there's maybe 2 songs that I actually remember. I think actually I do remember the melody of this song. As Lisa said, his voice is something that some people love, like Simon Cowell did, and some people absolutely hate. I don't mind it. But I wouldn't listen to the song if it was just a song somewhere. Of course, I have to listen to it now when it's in the original selection, but I wouldn't listen to it on my free time. I think it's maybe one of the 3 songs that actually has a chance at winning the Eurosong. And if it goes Eurovision, then fine, just let it be. I don't think it has chances of doing well, but I don't get mad listening to the song 6 times during the rehearsals.
I think it's a good summary of where we are with Brendan Murray's song. Moving on to Rachel Good, I'm Loving Me. Well, the obvious question, Bente, are you loving her?
Am I? That's a big question. Just before we started this, I had a second look at all the songs, and I remembered all of them except this one, which is saying a lot. I really had to think about it, and then when I remembered, I only saw like the music video in front of me, which I like. I like the song. It's not bad. Does it have a chance? No, absolutely not. But it doesn't rule out. It's there. You can listen to it. You can enjoy it, and then once it's finished, you move on with your life and just never really think about it again. That's really I can't say much about it because it just it doesn't really do anything with me. It's just there.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's there. That is a good conclusion. I think it is quite the 80s throwback she's going for here.
Yeah, you think I like that because one of my favorites this year was Denmark of all countries, but no.
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
not for me.
Rachel, if you're watching this, the fact that Bente isn't into it is not a good sign. Let's try and see. Lisa, are you into the 80s vibe here?
I like this, and like when I see the songwriters, part of me thinks, did they find this in the bargain bin of like Melfest or MGP? Like, was this a potential for Rayleigh, but she picked Hero instead? I like it. It's very anthemic in that sort of 80s power way, but I don't know, part of me is also kind of like, well, aren't we kind of a bit, this feels a bit old, but for Ireland it's kind of fresh and exciting for them, and it's definitely up there. It's probably my second favorite. um I'm just not sure how impactful it's going to be if you threw this into a lineup of 20 plus songs. um should it, well, it would have to qualify first, and I don't know. I'm not sure this one has much chance if you stack it up against what's in its semi-final.
And 3 of the songwriters wrote the Ride last year, so I think they played the song on the same session.
I think we also see that in the video that it's quite like the right window.
Ride was kind of a banger, to be honest.
Guys, Bender's favorites were Denmark and Poland last year.
Oh, come on.
That's it all.
Anyway, why don't they just let that Clara girl have these songs and have her moment and put her in a national final? She needs to be giving all these bangers away to other people, and I just want to see what that Clara can do.
That would be quite funny to see what that would mean. If we move on, I mean, from a bit of fun to a bit of a ballad, Janet Grogan is also with us with Ashes of Yesterday, famous for competing in a talent show and now here at Eurosong. Sami, Ashes of Yesterday, will that be Ireland's ticket to the final?
I don't think so, but I have to say that if this song was sung by the Mamas, they would made it to the Melfest final with this. I think it's really similar to what they did. Of course, now when it's on 2022, you can think that the songwriters heard about the Mamas and wrote a song that is similar to those. I think overall with this selection, my biggest problem is that RTE clearly chose artists that they have worked with in the past. Brenda Murray is one of them. Janet is one of them. Patrick O'Sullivan, who we'll talk about later, is one of them. I'm sensing that maybe they asked these artists to compete, and it's showing here. Like I think Brenda Murray is the only one who actually, and Miles, who have credits on the songs, and you can really hear that maybe Janet loves the song, but it wasn't made for her. And it's another song that it's kind of there, but you don't really remember it at all, and it doesn't have anything that would actually make an impact on the semi-final end.
I would say it's quite a competent entry. I mean, it is the easiest one to stage, and with Ireland's past, an easy song to stage wouldn't be bad as a choice. Bente, what do you think? Is this the one for Ireland?
Well, it's not necessarily the one for Ireland, but it is one of the ones that I very much enjoy. And in a weird way, I can't pinpoint why exactly I enjoy it so much. But I think what Sami said, that like, for example, if the Mamas had sung this, it would just get elevated to such a higher level. But still, I really just like vibe with the melody. And yeah, I don't know, I can't really put it into words, but I think it's actually a very solid entry. I don't think it's gonna win, but it doesn't have to, because it's just like a song and you hear it and you enjoy it, and you might listen to it a few times, and that's fine. But yeah, if it does win, I would doubt that it would do quite well for Ireland. But there's staging potential, which is also saying something, like you said, for Ireland, because that doesn't always work out in their favor. So we're gonna see. I wouldn't complain if it won, but I wouldn't like put money on them making it to the finals with it.
Absolutely. I think, of course, the betting markets aren't that open for the Irish national final so far, but the few markets that are open actually have Janet in first at the moment, just ahead of Brooke Scullion and her song That's Rich. Now, Lisa, I feel I need to get to you for this one. That's Rich. How do you feel about it?
This one stands out easily as my favorite. Like for Ireland, this is probably the most modern song since I can't remember when Ireland have ever. They have the same issue that us in the UK have, is that we really, both of us really have really struggled since our successful sort of 90s era and translating into sort of modern Eurovision, and we're both sort of like, oh wait, everyone moved on, what do we do now? And I can't remember the last time either of us sent something that sounded like it was from the current time of chart releases, and this is probably the closest to that. And Brooks already a name, she's getting lots of media traction already with her voice coach mentor, and you know that through the voice that well, the clue is in the name. She has the vocal potential already and is used to TV and live performing. And she has a really good personality and vibe about her. She gets the contest and realizes that you shouldn't be writing songs for specifically for Eurovision. You should be writing songs that people are going to listen to long afterwards and remember you. And you can tell she's trying to change the perception of the contest in Ireland, because, as I say, both in the UK and in Ireland, we have this problem of just such a negative energy, and trying to get that across and just move forwards in a better way and get people interested and engaged locally with Eurovision, and not just seeing it as something like kitchen trashy. And Brooke can be the forward momentum for that. And I enjoy That's Rich because it's a good up tempo bop, and it's kind of a bit in your face and cheeky as well. My only issue is that I just know Ireland are going to do an Ireland, and then they're going to sit there on the panel and be like, this is too good for Eurovision. And then they're going to see like Patrick and Janet and be like, oh, that's perfect for the Eurovision, and send something like that, and then act all shocked when they flop again.
Right. Now, the format of the national final and the Late Late Show as the venue, or basically the studios as the venue, have sort of made acts suffer in the past with the acoustics there. You probably couldn't even get Celine Dion or Pastora Soler to sound in tune and okay in that venue. Sami, do you think that will have an impact on Brooke Scullion?
As Lisa said, I think this is the entry that has the best potential, but maybe the Irish people think this is not what Eurovision stands for. Yeah, I think with the Late Late Show, this won't be able to do what it could do at Eurovision, and that's really sad. Like, I wish all the broadcasters and all the national final would have like similar stage as Eurovision, that you actually can bring props to dancers. The stage on the Late Late Show is really small. You can't even have a good setup. As a song, it's a good one. I think it needs a revamp, or at least something, but it's only February, and if Brooke wins, they can work on the song before March. And I think from all the 6 songs, this has the best potential on being worked to something even better. But I'm really afraid that the Irish people, and especially the panel on the Late Late Show and the Eurosong, will trash this, and they will send someone like Patrick O'Sullivan, who they think is more suitable for Eurovision. Now, also, I think it's a lot about the image that they want to send to Europe, and maybe the Irish people might think that, oh, this is not what we want to people on Europe to think about us, that we are this really aggressive, maybe on your face kind of music, that they want to send something like more classy and more, as I said, more suitable to Eurovision, what they might think. And that's why if this would be a national final in any other country, I think Brooke would absolutely smash it. But now in Ireland, I'm afraid that they might go to something completely different than this. Even their best result in the past 10 years came with Jedward, and it says it all, that if you did well with Jedward, then why wouldn't you do well with Brooke?
I think we've mentioned a couple of times now that they might go for something safer. And I'm just thinking about the last time that Ireland actually did well, but I think that is indeed 2011 when Jedward came eighth with Lipstick. That's 11 years ago now. So that's a bit of a shocker. And we already mentioned that, you know, Patrick O'Sullivan might be the safer choice in the Irish eyes. Now, I have to say that Patrick O'Sullivan's entry, One Night, One Kiss, One Promise, is actually my favorite entry of the show. There's this country vibe behind it that just really, really connects with me. Have to say though, it's been written by Nicky Byrne. What's the entire thing, Bente, with Ireland bringing back people to their national final that sort of didn't succeed on their first Eurovision attempt?
I I didn't know about that until right now, and the only thought that popped into my head was that makes so much sense. Nothing but love to you, Nick, but this song is my last from the selection. It's nothing. It's just, I don't even know what to say about it because it's just there. It's a weak production. One Kiss, One Something, One Promise. It's the most cringe title. Like, it makes me just, it hurts me physically to read that. No, it's not for me, but that it was written by Nicky, yeah, that really tracks. Though I did actually like Sunlight in theory. In practice, it was very different. I don't know what it is about them and having, you know, artists that didn't do well return, or like, I don't get that, because clearly, you know, they had this idea that what they would send would do very well. Like, I believe Nicky had a lot of faith in Sunlight, which didn't translate very well to the Eurovision stage. So I don't know what's up with that, because I mean, they know what they're doing. Like, they went to Eurovision, so they know what it's like to be there, but to actually have a good song, that's a whole different thing, and this is not a good song.
Okay, not a good song, man. I'm just really curious what the One Promise is that Patrick's making, because I can't figure out what that is. Okay.
One Night, One Kiss, One Promise, that's it.
Yeah. Lisa, One Night, One Kiss, One Promise. You already mentioned Ireland might be going for the safe and bland option. Is this the beige entry they are looking for? Is this the beige? Is this the bechamel sauce of the Irish show? Is this pretty much anything that will just put a blandness over it? And is this the one that Ireland's going to pick?
I feel like they will, because I can just picture what RTE are like, and they're just going to have everyone on that panel just trying to be talking up Nicky Byrne all night, and that's going to get into the heads of people and like, oh, well, we better send this because Nicky Byrne's on the song. And Ireland, they're just going to do Ireland things, and this is a song that just, it screams something that that the Oge crowd would hype up and think is modern, hip and fresh, and it's not. It's not. Like 10-15 years ago, yes, maybe, but not now. You know, I'm sure he's a good singer because he's another one with that talent show background, because RT don't have the biggest like budget or reach, just because of the perception. It's the same problem that we in the UK have. We can only pick up these talent show acts that are looking to try and maintain a career, and you know, it's good for him that he's getting his music out there. It's just not something for me, but I do feel like RT are probably going to end up sending this over other choices that would do better.
Yeah, I mean, for those of you who watched the video we did about Benidorm Fest, where I speak of my guilty pleasures and it being as bland as absolutely possible, that will sort of make sense when you know that this is my number one in the show. Please don't listen to me. Please just don't. That is the best advice I can give you, don't. Also, if we move on from my first place to my absolute last place, we're moving on to Miles Graham, and yeah, we're going to get out of don't know. He's going to get out of something. Sami, is he going to get out of the national final?
As a winner, no. I think there was a lot of hype behind him. He was invited to the radio show of Sir Terry Wogan some years ago, and he was a rising name. But I don't know, the song is just, it's trying to be something really cool, but it's just coming out of really, it's let's face it, it's about a pandemic that, yeah, we're gonna get out of it, and yeah, it's a nice message, but everything about it is like really annoying. And also I have to mention that Miles is set to have a concert in London on 6th of May. So assuming he wants to perform on the concert and also wants to go to Eurovision, so maybe he has plans to fly to London from Turin on that Friday. But yeah, I don't think this is the one that wins, and if it wins, I'm really shocked. And when it comes to Eurovision, I don't know. I'm just seeing something really like they're trying to make a movement of a kind. You already saw it on the video that there were lots of pop culture references, and most of those people weren't really happy about. And yeah, I don't know. It as I said, the song just annoys me a lot. Like it's so trying to be really like uplifting, but it just makes you think about the situation all over again. And it's like I don't want to think about that when I'm watching Eurovision. That I don't want to think that, oh yeah, we're gonna get out of the pandemic one day, but today with this party. And yeah, it's please Ireland, don't send this song, because one, it doesn't do well in the contest, and two, it's just like it would be really bad promotion for Ireland to send this after all the things that had going on with the lyric video and everything. And yeah, as I said, like I want to hear from Miles, how is he going to plan the concert on 6th of May and then being back in Italy, or being in Italy for the rehearsals and the semi-final.
Right, Bente, do you think that the fact that that concert is still there and the fact that the lyric video, well, it has sparked some controversial debates in the fandom as well, and I think rightfully so. Do you think those are all really bad signs for Miles Craig and his chances at Eurosong?
Not necessarily. I will say first and foremost, I don't like this song at all. There are many aspects that are wrong with it. Some are more personal, like I don't like when media explicitly references COVID, because it's like I'm trying to escape this. So I don't want to think about that. Then of course you have the incredibly insensitive part of the lyric video. But I don't think, because it's something that happens in the Euro fandom, and at the end of the day, they don't influence national finals as much as, you know, like they wish they could. Because out of the people who are going to be watching that national final, actually voting for it, maybe 1% has followed that controversy. And even less of them know about the concert or that kind of stuff. So I don't think it will influence it. But I do think that if it wins, there is a conversation to be had about it and about how insensitive it is. I'm not a big fan of it, even song-wise. It's not for me. It's trying to be something that it's not. And yeah, especially lyrically, that's a personal preference. I don't want to think about the pandemic. Like I'm trying to escape that when, you know, I'm getting into Eurovision and national finals, or just like when watching TV and people are wearing masks. Like I get it, but I don't want to think about that. And when I'm trying to watch or listen to something that I enjoy a lot, so it's not for me. And yeah, it's good that people are pointing out the insensitivity of the music video. That's something I would like to hear, actually. The artist say something about maybe he did. I didn't follow it that much. But I hope it doesn't win. There are better options out there. It's just, no, it's just not the right choice.
You've mentioned the insensitivity of the video. I can imagine that some people missed it. Could you quickly or shortly explain what the insensitivity is? What happens in the lyric video that made most of us go, "Oh"?
Yeah, of course. So I didn't get involved in it that much because I don't use Twitter, so I'm not very into the fandom. But in the lyric video, there's this line about breathing, and they use a picture of George Floyd, the man who got shot in the United States, and said, "I can't breathe," and it sparked the Black Lives Matter movement. It made it much bigger. So I think it's really insensitive to use that image to elevate your music video.
Yeah, I think that is, I'm just going to say it. I think that is a case of privilege that we can all
absolutely
pinpoint as that in a case where you use that image and that line to put in the lyric video. I don't understand it one bit, and on that grounds alone, I don't even want to consider this for Eurovision, and I'm really sorry for everyone who loves it, but the fact that that is in the lyric video with that image besides it, after all that the world has been through. I mean, we've been through a pandemic, and yeah, we're going to get out of a pandemic because, of course, that is what a pandemic is. They end, but it references the spark that ignited the Black Lives Matter movement, and rightfully so, that it sparked that in a way that I wouldn't necessarily want to see in a lyric video. So yeah, we had to discuss that. Not the best note to end on here, but we've discussed all 6 songs now. We've gone from Brendan Murray to Miles Graham. And I'm going to ask each of you, who do you think will win and who do you want to see flying the Irish flag in Turin? We're going to start off with Lisa. Who's your favorite and who do you think will snatch the crown?
My personal favorite is Brooke, but I think Linda Martin and friends are going to make Ireland send most likely Patrick.
Right. Sami, what do you think?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with Lisa. My favorite is Brooke, and I'm just predicting that they will send Patrick, just because of it has Nicky Byrne and also the lead singer of the band, the Coronas, which was popular. I don't think they are that popular anymore, and I think just coming from the talent show, Patrick has some people still who know him and maybe support him. I don't think he has that many songs out yet, but yeah, I think it will be just typical Ireland choice.
And what's your favorite and who will win?
My favorite's Brooke as well. That's rich. And you know what? I'm going to end this video on a positive note. I'm going to manifest it. She's going to win as well.
I'm going to be a mix between all of you. My favorite is Patrick O'Sullivan, but I think Brooke is going to win it. I think the momentum is just there for her right now. So let's hope they keep Linda Martin where she is right now. Don't let her into the studio, block the entrance. No more odious little man moments, even though they were the highlight of that national final season. If you've never watched the odious little man clip, do it. But yeah, that is what we think of the Irish national final for Eurovision 2022 Eurosong. It will take place on the 4th of February in the RTE studio. So that will be another interesting venue, national final at. We think it might be a 2-horse race between Brooke Scullion and Patrick O'Sullivan. So let us know in the comments what you think. Make sure you hit the notification button to get a little pop-up message whenever we do a new video. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. What else is there? I don't know. Everything is there. I'm not the one to do the socials. People do that. But I want to thank Lisa, Bente, Sami for joining me in the Irish national final. And we'll see you all really soon. Bye.